Well, Microsoft has successfully concluded its monumental $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard. It was finalized early this morning, and this is the, of course, publisher that is responsible for the iconic titles like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Crash Bandicoot, and Diablo. I've made a few different videos about it. This was definitely no easy feat. This was a 20-month process, and it included a very long battle with regulatory authorities in both the UK and the US. Microsoft even had to take it to the US federal court, surmounting the challenges posed by the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC, and they had to revise the agreement to meet the requirements of the Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, in the United Kingdom. But all that is finally behind them as of today. In a statement, Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, reiterated Microsoft's unwavering commitment to gaming and the gaming community. He warmly welcomed Activision and, well, basically said that he is looking forward to a new bright future ahead with Activision Blizzard. This historic deal now stands as Microsoft's most substantial acquisition to date. It greatly surpasses the $7.5 billion acquisition of Bethesda in 2021, which is crazy to think because Bethesda is behind the Elder Scrolls games like Skyrim and the Fallout games. So it's crazy to think that a huge company like Bethesda, the acquisition of them was maybe about a fraction, like almost like 1/10 of what they had to spend on the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. It really goes to show how big this acquisition really is. So Microsoft's future plans include the integration of many of the beloved franchises from Activision Blizzard into Xbox Game Pass, with specific details set to be unveiled in the months to come. While some titles will not join Xbox Game Pass this year, Microsoft is actively working on this expansion. They had recently said that 2024, so next year, is when they will start rolling out games from Activision onto Game Pass. And looking at the big picture here, this acquisition significantly bolsters Microsoft's Xbox game studios by incorporating over 9 game studios from the Blizzard side alone, in addition to game studios in more than 11 locations affiliated with the mobile gaming platform that is King. Yeah, I don't know much about King, but they are also included in Activision Blizzard. I think they make a lot of like mobile games like Candy Crush. Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, it looks like he will remain in his role until the end of 2023. So yeah, very big W from Xbox today. It's honestly crazy to think how big now Xbox really is. Besides the usual Xbox studios, they have Mojang, they have Bethesda, and now they have Activision Blizzard. It's honestly crazy. And it looks like that is kind of becoming a trend now. A lot of these separate game companies that are not specifically tied with Xbox or Sony are now being bought out by one of the two companies. I've definitely been thinking for a bit that this really almost gives Microsoft, Xbox, it almost gives them an unfair advantage over Sony. That was until I found this out. So apparently Sony is actually still a larger gaming company than Microsoft in terms of revenue. Yeah, I read that today. I don't know how true that actually is in terms of just specifically gaming, because Sony also makes a lot of tech in addition to gaming, but then again, so does Microsoft. Point being, I don't think that either of the two companies are just necessarily at a huge advantage or disadvantage right now. I still think they're definitely on level playing fields, and of course that was kind of what the lawsuit last year and earlier this year was all about, and they definitely resolved that lawsuit. But that being said, again, huge W for Xbox today. If you have Xbox Game Pass, definitely get ready for next year, because that is when a lot of these Activision Blizzard games will start rolling out. $69 billion is definitely not a cheap transaction, but I think it will definitely pay off for Xbox in the long run.